Talking about money is one of those topics that can be really hard for many people to address. It certainly was very hard for me to talk about money a while ago after the 2008 recession, when my husband lost his job and we found ourselves in a very difficult situation. I didn't want to tell anyone that we were in that situation. We had lost about 65% of our income with his job being gone. And suddenly it just fell up on my shoulders to carry the finances and to provide for the family. It was a really difficult time. It was depressing. It was scary. I was very anxious. There were some nights I couldn't sleep. There were some nights I would go to sleep crying. There were some times I didn't want to go to work because I was in a very stressful position, but I had no options. Because we had debt, we had 2 car loans, we had student loans, credit card loan, we had kids, we had everything. We had made a lot of commitments, financial commitments, based on an income that we had, an income that we thought was really good, which was really good, but an income that we never thought was going to be gone. I never expected that there was going to be a recession, to be honest. 11 or 12 years ago, I had no idea what a recession was. And the 2008 recession really taught me a very valuable lesson in life. You cannot, or you should not make financial commitments based on your current situation, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We were making all these purchases because we had money coming in, but we were also spending it. And I didn't realize that although I thought we were prepared for something bad happening with money in savings, I never realized how catastrophic the loss of a job can be for your life. But now, 11 years later, I look back and I'm grateful for that happening, because that time taught me a lot. It taught me about priorities, about budgeting, about saving money, about not taking your job for granted, and really about planning for a great future debt-free. I think we can all do that. For many of us, we need to be in the hole. That's what I call that phase in our life where I was very scared about talking about money. I didn't want to share our situation with people for the fear of being judged, because on the outside, everyone looks like they got it all together. They have the nice cars and the nice house and the nice purses, and they post all these amazing pictures of their vacations on social media, and you think everyone has it figured out. You must be the only one who's struggling financially. But I'm here to tell you that's just a lie. It's a facade. Many people will go on for years and decades of their lives pretending like they're thriving financially when they're really not, when they are racking up credit card debt, and until they find themselves in a situation where they see a job loss, maybe they see their income being cut, maybe they have a health situation where they cannot go to work and produce the same income that they used to have. Maybe they have a catastrophic medical issue. Until you're faced with the option of having to cut down your lifestyle, for many of us, we just don't see it. I certainly didn't see it. You know, I thought as long as you wanted to work, there would be work. And so if we're having all this money coming in, why don't we spend the money? That's what life is for, right? I used to think that way. And thanks to the 2008 recession, lots of things happened, and I think differently. But what I want to do today is to share with you this. If you find yourself thinking about money and having feelings of stress, anxiety, fear, discontent, frustration, lack, not enoughness, I understand you, because I have been there. I've been there in that hole, and it gets very lonely. It's a place where you don't know what to do, because sometimes you simply don't have the information that can get you out of the hole, or it's a place where you can feel ashamed, and because you don't want to be judged, you don't reach out for help. And then you stay in the hole for longer. But what I learned is that what I needed was better information. My husband and I had made financial decisions based on the information that was popular, that was available to us through the media, through friends, etc. Get the car, it's a 0% financing, or get the credit card because you need a credit card to build credit, or make your purchases with the credit card so you can earn points and miles that you can later redeem to go on trips. We were doing all those things, and I thought we were thriving financially, and apparently, from the outside we were. But when you remove that aspect of the one income, everything comes crashing down. I realized we were not building our foundation with strong financial principles. And it wasn't until I understood that debt is really, it limits you. Debt is the same thing as having shackles on your hands. Your debt will get you nowhere. And we are not taught to think that way. We are taught to think that debt gives you opportunity to have all the things that you want. I'm here to share with you, there is a better life. There is a better way of doing things on the other side of the spectrum, where you are becoming debt-free, where you are understanding how to better manage your money, how to save for emergencies, how to save for retirement, to pay for your kids' college so they don't have to graduate with $100,000 on student loans. A way of not depending on Social Security benefits to survive when you retire. There is a way better way to do life than just doing what you're hearing in the media and what you're hearing your friends repeat. I'm here today to tell you, as a working mom, as an immigrant in the United States, I didn't know anything. I didn't know a thing about how to manage my money. I took advice from the people around me that love me, that shared their best advice with me, but that also many of them didn't know any better, And sometimes you don't want to hear from people because nobody likes to be told about money. Nobody likes to be told what to do with their money. But if you're here, if you found this, I am going to be inclined to think that you are ready for this information, that you've been doing things the way you've been doing them, and we're not going to go back to all the reasons why we're doing things the old way. What I want to invite you to do today is to be open to new ways of doing things. As a working mom, as a journalist, I know what it's like. I know the pressures that we have to, make an income, make it last, pay for everything in the house, still save for retirement, save for emergencies, save for our kids' college. That's why I also became a financial coach, because I knew I wanted to help others through my experience going through the hole and coming out of it, but also with better information on financial wellness and financial literacy. So as a journalist, I love learning and sharing and creating content and videos and podcasts and YouTubes and everything, but I also like to know that I have the tools to help people in the best possible way. That's why I decided to become a Ramsey Solutions trained financial coach. So I am going to be sharing with you the principles that are consistent with the way Dave Ramsey teaches you to become debt-free and to really obtain a very successful state in your finances. Not by pursuing debt, but the opposite, by pursuing a debt-free lifestyle. So I'm all about that. I'm all about empowering women, especially working women who feel like they work super hard all day and then they pay all the bills and then they feel like at the end of the month, there's not enough money to save, to invest, or to enjoy. My heart is in helping everyone, but especially women like me who work really hard and who want to make sure they're making good decisions for themselves, for their kids, for their family, and for their future. So if you like the idea of improving your financial well-being, if you want to invest in your financial well-being, all I'm here to tell you is that all you need to invest to become wealthier and to be in a better financial situation is time. Time to learn the principles that will get you to a better financial future, that will empower you and enable you to live out your best financial life. I am here to share information with you. You are gonna have to put in the time to get this information and put it into practice, okay? But one thing that's very true, in order for us to move into a better financial place, we need to know where we stand. So if you don't know what's the status of your finances, if you feel like your finances are a mess, or if you feel like your finances are okay, but you don't know where to go next, you don't know what you're really hoping or shooting for, the first step that we need to take is understanding where we are at, where do we stand. For that, I have created a free tool for you. It's my financial wellness assessment. Go over to YezminThomas.com. That's my blog. You're going to find a lot of resources, articles, podcasts, episodes, information on how to improve your financial well-being. I have a financial wellness assessment. It's something that you do yourself. You just download the printable and you fill out the form. This form is for you to understand where you stand today and what are your goals. Where do you want to go next? And it's gonna teach you what next step you need to take in your personal situation. So let's say, for example, you are somebody that's really working really hard, but money comes in, money goes out, you have no idea where the money is going. Perhaps you're not even doing a budget. Not a problem. We are going to address that. So your next step will be making a budget every single month and sticking to it, okay? Maybe you already do a budget, but you have debt and you want to get rid of your debt. So your self-assessment is going to show you how to do that. Maybe you are trying to make progress investing, but you have no money for an emergency fund and you have no way to track your expenses. Well, maybe you are trying to skip steps, and what we need to do in your case is go back to the beginning and start budgeting, because really, guys, everything starts with having a budget. The budget is going to tell you how much money you're making, where you're spending it, and how you need to cut down expenses and where to be able to make your money last longer or make better use of your money. And I also want to share with you something that I think is very important, because I don't want you to misunderstand me. I like nice things. I like Louis Vuitton purses. I like BMWs. I like cruises, and I like having help with cleaning my house. I like all the things. I like the vacations. I am not saying that having those things is not good. What I'm saying is there is a time for everything. And I just want you to be open to the idea that if you don't have an emergency fund, if you're not investing for retirement, maybe today is not the time for you to buy the purse or to go on a shopping spree. I just want to reframe the idea of what being in a good financial situation is, because I think we have gotten distracted by appearances. And I want you just to come back to really having strong financial principles. Really, you can have all the things. I want to have all the things. Heck, I'm working towards having all the things, including the Louis Vuitton bag. However, my priority first is to have sound financial principles, which means be 100% debt-free, including the house. Yes, including the house, it's possible. Paying everything in cash or debit card, just not getting into debt for anything, including the cars and the purses and anything you do. And really having a plan for my future, having money in investments, knowing that when I decide that I don't want to work, which I don't know when that's going to be, because I really enjoy what I do. So I really want to work as long as I can. But if there is a time when I decide that I don't want to work, I want to have the certainty to know that I have money in my retirement accounts to take care of myself, living a nice lifestyle, and not really just hoping that my paycheck or my check from the government is going to be enough for me to survive. I do not want to get to my 80s and 90s and hope that I will have enough to survive. I want to get to my 80s and 90s knowing that I'm going to be living the best life I can. And before we go, I know that many of you know me first from my content that I create in Spanish. I have an entire website, which is called Así Vivo Mejor, which has a podcast and a blog and videos in Spanish. In fact, my YouTube channel will have both my videos in English and Spanish. So if you don't speak Spanish, don't worry. I have two platforms separate, but the only one that's together is my YouTube channel. I have my videos both in English and Spanish in my YouTube channel. But if you have friends or family members that enjoy having this information in Spanish, or that would rather get this information in Spanish, make sure you tell them to go to my website, YezminThomas.com, and I have a tab that says Spanish. They can go through that tab and then get all this information in Spanish as well. So if you want to improve your financial well-being, make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, my podcast, you follow me on Instagram, you subscribe to my newsletter on my website. Make sure you are connected with me because I have a lot of resources and I have a lot of ways that I want to help you. I want to be there for you where you like getting your information. So know that this information is getting out there through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and my podcast and my blog. So whatever you like to get the information, wherever you like to consume it. I know that for me, I'm a huge podcast listener and I like YouTube as well. And I don't spend as much time on social media, but I really spend time listening to podcasts and watching YouTube channels. So I know everyone has a different way of doing things and learning. That's why I want you to know I'm going to be sharing these videos and these podcasts through my different channels so that I make sure you guys are getting this information. So with this, I say goodbye. If you can please leave me a review or a comment, I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to start your journey to financial freedom with sound information. So make sure you go to YezminThomas.com and download my free financial wellness assessment to really understand where you're standing today and how to get to the next level. Thank you so much. My name is Yezmin Thomas. For more information, always visit YezminThomas.com.